Welcome back to English Unlocked. I am Luna, and next to me, as always, is Luca.
Hi everyone, today we want to talk about something a little painful.
Have you ever said something in English and the other person just looked at you with a confused face?
Oh, I know that feeling. It happens to me more than I want to admit.
Today, we are talking about what to do when someone does not understand your English.
Because that moment can feel embarrassing even when your English is actually good.
A lot of learners believe a confused face means their English is bad.
But sometimes it is something completely different, like noise or an accent or just bad timing.
So today, we want to help you feel calmer in that exact moment.
We will share some real stories and some simple phrases you can use right away.
By the end, you might feel a little less afraid of being misunderstood.
And maybe a little more ready to just keep talking, even when it gets confusing. I remember one time I repeated the same sentence 5 times and the person still looked lost.
Oh, no, 5 times. That sounds exhausting.
I almost gave up and just smiled and walked away.
I think every learner has done that smile at least once.
Probably, so let us talk about why that happens and what we can actually do.
Yes, because being misunderstood does not mean you failed. It usually means something else. I want to tell you about something that happened to me at a coffee shop.
Okay, I am ready. What happened?
I ordered my coffee very clearly, or at least I thought I did.
And then, what did she say?
She just stared at me and then asked me to repeat it 3 times.
Oh, that is rough. How did you feel in that moment?
Um, Honestly, my face got hot and I felt like everyone was listening.
That heat in your face, I know exactly what you mean.
It was not even a hard sentence, just a simple coffee order.
So your English was fine, but your brain still made it feel like a failure.
Yes, I started thinking maybe my accent was the real problem.
Did you really believe that, or was it just the fear talking?
Looking back, I think it was fear. The shop was loud and music was playing.
That makes so much sense. The barista probably could not hear you clearly.
But in that moment, I only thought about my own English.
We do that so often. We blame ourselves first before we think about anything else.
I think that is the real problem. We are afraid people think we are not smart.
That fear is heavy. It is not really about grammar mistakes.
No, it is about being seen as less capable just because of an accent.
I felt that too, especially in my first job interview here.
Oh, really? Tell me what happened.
The interviewer asked a question and I understood it, but my answer came out wrong.
Wrong how? What did you say instead?
I mixed up 2 words and she looked confused for a second.
That second probably felt very long.
It did. I started speaking faster, trying to fix it, which made it worse.
Speaking faster does not usually help, does it?
No, slowing down would have helped much more than rushing.
So after a moment like that, it is so tempting to just stop talking completely.
Yeah, I have done that. Just nodded and smiled, even when I did not understand.
I think every learner has had that smile, the one that hides confusion.
It is a survival smile. It protects us, but it also stops real connection.
That is such a good way to put it. A smile that hides instead of helps.
And after a while, that silence can make you feel really alone.
I remember feeling that loneliness, even in a room full of people.
That is heartbreaking, because you were right there, but somehow still far away.
Being misunderstood is not just annoying. Sometimes it actually hurts.
It does. It can feel like the other person stopped seeing you as a full person.
So what do we do instead of staying silent? That is the real question.
I think the first step is just deciding to try again even when it feels uncomfortable.
Okay, so let us get practical. What can we actually say in that moment?
One simple phrase I use now is, let me say that in a different way.
I like that. It sounds calm, not panicked.
It does not sound like an apology either. It just sounds helpful.
So instead of repeating the exact same words louder, you change the words completely.
Repeating louder usually does not fix the problem because the words were not the issue.
Maybe the listener just did not catch one specific word.
Sometimes, yes. Another phrase that works well is, I mean it this way.
I like using examples too, like saying, for example, when I am tired.
That helps a lot because examples are often easier to understand than explanations.
There is also a phrase I had to learn to avoid saying,
Oh, which one is that?
you don't understand me. It sounds like I am blaming the other person.
That is true. It can sound harsh even when you do not mean it that way.
Now I just say, let me explain that again more simply.
That keeps the conversation friendly instead of making it feel like a fight.
Sometimes the problem is not your sentence, it is your speed or the noise around you.
True. So what can we say when we need the other person to slow down?
I usually say, could you say that more slowly, please?
That is simple and clear. I also like, sorry, could you repeat that?
Right, those phrases feel small, but they are actually really powerful.
They keep you in the conversation instead of pushing you out of it.
I used to think asking for repetition made me look weak.
Oh, I felt that too, like asking again proved my English was not good enough.
But now I see it differently. Native speakers ask each other to repeat things all the time.
It really has nothing to do with your level.
It is just normal human conversation, full of noise and distractions.
So next time, instead of smiling and pretending, you could just say, sorry, one more time, please.
I like that phrase. It sounds friendly, not embarrassed.
It gives the other person a clear, easy way to help you.
Misunderstanding feels different at work, does it not? The stakes feel so much higher.
Definitely. In a meeting, you do not always get a second chance to explain calmly.
I remember presenting an idea, and my manager asked me to explain it again in front of everyone.
Wow, that sounds stressful. How did you handle it in the moment?
My heart was racing, but I took a breath and said, let me put that more simply.
That breath probably helped more than you realized.
It did. I slowed down, used shorter sentences, and the room actually understood me better.
Slowing down is not weakness, it is strategy.
Afterward, a coworker told me she also struggles in meetings sometimes.
That must have felt good to hear, knowing you were not the only one.
It reminded me that confusion happens to everyone, not just language learners.
That is such an important point for anyone listening at work right now.
If a meeting gets confusing, you can simply say, let me clarify that point.
Or, in other words, here is what I mean.
Those small phrases keep the conversation professional without making you feel small.
They show confidence even in a stressful moment.
Phone calls feel different, do they not? You cannot see the other person's face at all.
Oh, phone calls are the worst for me. No lips, no expressions, just sound.
I had a call with a delivery company, and I had to spell my street name 3 times.
That is so frustrating. Spelling out loud under pressure is its own challenge.
I started using the alphabet code, like A for apple, B for banana.
That is smart. It takes away some of the pressure of guessing letters.
And if a call gets too confusing, it is okay to ask for another way.
Like asking, could we continue this by text message instead?
That phrase has saved me more than once.
People forget that asking for a different method is not giving up.
It is just choosing the tool that works better for that moment.
That is such a useful mindset, choosing tools instead of blaming yourself.
I think that lesson applies to more than just phone calls, honestly.
How do you mean?
Choosing a different method works for emails and messages too, not just calls.
True. Sometimes writing it down is clearer than saying it out loud.
Can I share something a little more personal? This one is harder to talk about.
Of course, take your time.
Sometimes even my own family does not fully understand me anymore in either language.
Oh, that sounds really lonely. Can you explain what you mean?
My English gets stronger, but I sometimes forget words in my first language too.
So you feel a little caught between two languages, understood completely by neither.
It is strange because I am not fully misunderstood, but I am not fully understood either.
That in-between feeling sounds really hard to carry.
It is, but talking about it actually helps more than staying quiet ever did.
I am really glad you shared that with me right now.
Me too. I think other learners feel this exact thing, especially after living abroad for years.
If that is you listening right now, please know this feeling is more common than it seems.
Being between two languages does not mean you are lost. It means you are growing.
I really like that way of seeing it. Growing, not lost.
I think a lot of people feel that mix of two languages even outside of family.
Probably friendships change too when one person grows more comfortable in a new language.
That is true. But growing does not mean losing the people who love you.
No, it just means the conversation changes shape a little.
Can we be honest about something? Sometimes the other person is not really listening either.
That is true. Misunderstanding is not always our responsibility alone.
Sometimes people get impatient, or they assume they will not understand before they even try.
Yeah, that happened to me once. Someone just said, "Never mind," and walked away.
Oh, that must have stung. How did you feel afterward?
Honestly, a little angry and a little sad at the same time.
That reaction makes complete sense. You were trying, and they gave up on you.
I had to remind myself that their impatience was not about my English.
That is such an important boundary to remember. Not every misunderstanding is your fault to fix.
Sometimes you can try again, and sometimes you can just let that moment go.
Either way, it does not erase the effort you made to communicate.
No, it really does not. Your effort still counts, even when someone else gives up too soon.
I think the biggest shift for me was realizing misunderstanding is just part of language.
Even between two native speakers, people mishear each other all the time.
My friend once misheard 15 as 50, and it caused a whole problem.
That is a classic one. Numbers are surprisingly easy to mix up.
And nobody thought less of her English because she does not even speak a second language.
Exactly, when it happens to us, it does not mean our English failed.
It usually means a word sounded similar, or the room was loud, or we were both tired.
That feels like such a relief to hear. Misunderstanding is normal, not a personal failure.
The goal is not perfect communication every single time.
The goal is staying in the conversation even when one sentence does not land perfectly.
Can we talk about accents for a moment too? I think that fear is huge for learners.
So many people think a strong accent automatically causes misunderstanding.
But that is not really true, is it?
No, clear pronunciation matters more than a perfect native accent.
You can have an accent and still be completely clear.
Misunderstanding usually comes from speed, mumbling, or unclear word stress, not the accent itself.
That is actually really comforting. I do not need to sound like a different person.
You just need to speak clearly and with confidence.
I used to practice trying to hide my accent completely.
Oh, I did that too. It felt exhausting, like performing all the time.
Now I focus on being clear, not on sounding native.
That shift changes everything. Clear is the real goal, not invisible.
I want to end on something good, a moment when it worked.
Oh, I like that idea. Tell me what happened.
Last week, a coworker did not understand my sentence, so I just rephrased it calmly.
And what did she say after that?
She smiled and said, "Oh, now I understand. It felt so simple, almost easy."
That is such a small win, but it probably felt huge in the moment.
It did. I did not panic. I did not blame myself. I just tried again.
That is real progress, not perfect English, just calm confidence.
Confidence grows every time we try again instead of giving up.
I had a similar moment too with a new neighbor who speaks differently than me.
Oh, tell me about that one.
We misunderstood each other twice, but the third time we both laughed about it.
That sounds like a really human moment.
Laughing together turned the confusion into something warm instead of something scary.
I love that. Misunderstanding does not have to end in shame. Sometimes it can end in connection.
That is the feeling we want every learner to remember.
So, if someone does not understand you tomorrow, what is the one thing you want them to remember?
I think do not panic and do not disappear into silence.
Try a different sentence, a simple example, or ask them to repeat what they said.
And remember, the problem is often noise, speed, or one unclear word, not your whole English.
One confusing moment does not cancel everything you already said. Well,
I also want people to remember that asking for help is a skill, not a weakness.
strong communicators ask questions all the time.
Even native speakers ask each other to repeat things constantly.
So, the next time it happens, try saying, "Let me explain that another way."
Or simply, sorry, could you say that again, please?
Small phrases like that can completely change how the moment feels.
They turn a stressful pause into a normal part of conversation. I also think it helps to remind yourself that one conversation does not define your English.
That is true. One confusing moment is just one moment, not the whole picture.
Tomorrow, there will be another conversation and another chance to try again.
I like thinking about it that way. Each conversation is a fresh start. Before we go, here is something to think about. When was the last time you were misunderstood, and how did you feel?
Maybe tell us in the comments. I would really love to read your stories.
We read every single one, and they always remind us we are not alone in this. This conversation made me think about how brave it actually is to keep speaking, even after confusion.
It really is brave. Every time you try again, you are choosing connection over fear.
I love that. We do not need perfect English. We just need to keep showing up.
And every misunderstood sentence is just one small step in a bigger journey.
Thank you for listening today and for staying with us through this honest conversation.
We will see you next time here on English Unlocked. Take care. Bye.